what would happen to the world? What frequency are you emitting? And even if it's not literally just a mirror of you, the level of peace you're emitting would create a field where it'd be much harder to have chaos on the external, right? So we're moving to a frequency where there's one method of changing the world by protesting and getting a million people outside of Congress. But there's another level where you go, oh, this is inside me. And so the more I'm yelling about the thing, my frequency is too big to just be at war with. I got to heal this thing and bring a peace frequency to the world, right? And so whatever you're triggered by is a gold mine, because it's going to show you what your ego decided life was supposed to be. And you're going to become a space of love for the one that feels that person shouldn't have left me or said that about me or whatever else. And then you realize your war was you decided life was supposed to be a certain way. There's a quote I've said for years that has been effective, which is nobody's ever broken your heart, but they broke your expectations. And by breaking your expectations, they get you closer to your heart. And our biggest war is with what is. And so the second we start to become present for what is going on, the more it starts to become peaceful. And the more it starts to become peaceful, watch the world mirror it. You are that powerful.
It's so crazy, the dynamics of what you can attract based on the work that you do on yourself and the things that you're healing. Even before this podcast, you were talking about how you met your partner, and this exact moment of when you've decided to heal yourself and say, I don't need anyone, and you've changed that frequency about yourself, and then boom. And talk to us about how that happened and your journey through that.
It's really weird because I had always in the past wanted to be in a relationship, had been on dating sites, and that neediness, I think, showed up in past relationships and also attracted people that had their same matching ego neediness or their same avoidant pattern that matches my anxious pattern, whatever, and sending appreciation to all of them. But I remember one time hearing a hero comedian of mine, Norm Macdonald. And I remember this was in maybe 2022, hearing them interview Norm Macdonald, and they were like, it was like a Howard Stern type or whatever. And he goes, you must go home with all these women after shows. And Norm Macdonald, oh no, why would I do that? No, I wouldn't do that at all. No, I go to bed early and I have no conflicts in my life. And I heard this permission slip where I was like, I really am ready. Like there's just this freedom in being a single man that is a good father and does not need a partner. And it was the first time in my life where I really felt truly like I'm more complete without a partner. And it wasn't, I won't have a partner. It was just like, I don't crave one. I don't want one. I'm really fine with having my own life, having my daughter, being present for her. And like the idea of dying alone at that time was exciting to me. It's like, I don't know why we make it normal to be in a hospital with all the people you hate at Thanksgiving surrounded by you and then you go and what if you just went in the woods and by yourself and you just lied down and died? Like there's something about that felt right. It felt more naturey. And I was really clear for quite a while, I'm good not having a relationship. I'd also had dreams about a woman that felt like just an angel. And I had seen her in meditations and I had seen her in dreams, and she had freckles and she had blondish, maybe reddish, but blondish hair. And I had described to people this woman that I saw. It sounds so corny, but when I got to a place where I truly was, I'm fine with no relationship, that woman I saw was just like an angel healing me. This woman I meet, and I swear to God, and she both knew something that we didn't know what we knew, but we just knew it was like something beyond my egoic control. It wasn't like, oh, that's a pretty girl, I'd love to be with her. It was like, that's it. Like, that's the answer to my life. She was the most beautiful woman ever. And there's something in my body. It was like, it wasn't, I wonder what it'd be like. It was like, oh, I'm supposed to be. And she felt the same thing. And we talked for a long time, long distance. And those talks ended up being 16 hours a day. And that helped too, that we didn't get together physically for the 6 weeks to build a knowing, to build a best friend, to build, and then we met up 6 weeks later. There was such a foundation, there was such a connection, and we met in Monterey and spent a week together. And I was just like, you move in with me. And it was just like, you have to. When she felt I have to, it was like something beyond it. And I've never been married, and I'm married now, and she's it. It's like we can even feel like at times if something feels off, we're like, well, obviously we're not like going to break up. Even if you get in a fight and say, what if, like, it's not going to happen. There's some assignment here that's beyond just we're totally in love. It's like, this is it. That's the answer to all my healing.
I relate to a lot of your story because, like yourself, I was really close with my mom because of the contentious relationship my mom and dad had as they grew up. And I've heard, I don't know if this is true, that it's quite common for particularly sons that have close relationships with their moms to then grow up to put women on a pedestal
Yep.
in some way, especially as you get into relationships. I did notice that early on, this was a pattern for me. And as I started to heal that, understand what was beneath it, all of a sudden the dynamics really changed throughout, not just relationships with women, really started to understand what it is to put anything on a pedestal,
Yes.
whether it's your goals or the things that you want to attract in your life, because it
Yeah.
changes that dynamic. What happens when we start putting things on a pedestal?
Yeah.
What are we doing to ourselves psychologically?
Well, and that's why I think this time is so exciting because all pedestals are breaking off. Like like it's 2026 right now. In the last 6 years, do you notice how many friendships have ended? Like how many even family member connections? There used to be this dynamic that the highest form of connection is through friends, through relationships in the past, even if they didn't align, stayed together 70 years. It's just like, we just are together because we've been together. We just exist. I'm totally disconnected from my soul, but I'm going to stay with you. Now it's like my soul is first. Even if this family member doesn't connect with me, it's fine. My soul is first. And we got in this social media where you're supposed to have 1,000+ friends in 24 hours a day. And that has to fall apart now because we're here now getting closer and closer to our soul. Now I'm realizing I forget what your question was.
What happens when we're putting things on a pedestal?
The pedestals of my friend's approval is gone. Once right now, a lot of leaders are off pedestals. There's taking celebrities off pedestals, taking people off pedestals when you find people in the files. This is very exciting to me. And even as a spiritual speaker who's had enormous events in huge theaters, I want to be off the pedestal. I don't, and because I'm on a pedestal at times, and then my audience is on a pedestal. Like we're looking at our views. Sometimes I still do it, but we're going, oh, your approval of me is on a pedestal. And there's no connection to myself. I'm just sitting here going, like, we're all on this thing and it creates pressure. And then when you're on a pedestal, you're like, I better be what they think I am versus what I am. And then you put someone on a pedestal and they better be what you think they are. And there's a great quote that the one that gets the credit gets the blame. And when you put all your focus on someone that they are the answer to your life, you will be so disappointed when you get every person that's on this planet is on this planet to grow. And as long as we're still alive, there's more growth. So every person that does the work and every person you worship and every person you think has giant mess still coming and is not perfect. And one of the things I try to offer through my events called Evolving Out Loud is that I'm a mess. And I'm backstage with many of those speakers that we think are the greatest in the world, and they're a mess and make mistakes, and I do things wrong, and I've been humbled many times, and I'm embarrassed sometimes at who I am, and sometimes I'll sit with myself and go, I don't like myself. And that's good. That's healthy to just sit and be present. Not I don't like myself, now I'm going to eat 1,000 donuts. Like, just sit with the don't like parts of myself and get present.